Alrighty, now we're back. Hopefully the previous video went through. We'll check it when I download. On this one, I've shaped the edges of my stands. I'm now going to cut the 8-inch notch. What I want to do is I want to have 6 to 7 inches of pass under space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut each one of the pieces 8 inches for a total of 16 inches that these two are going to be slid together. I then have some packing tape that I'm going to use to make sure that all the tabs are together, and if a kid comes up against it and pushes on it, it's not going to break off like it did this morning. I have to bleed for everything. So what I've done is I have measured the 1.25 inches that the saw blade is from its guard edge, so that's here. We come across another 6 inches, and that makes that 7 1/4. So if I've measured this right from the cut to the edge, which it is, that is 6 inches. Alright, so here we go. Whoops. That's what happens when you have all your tools just thrown on the table. Stuff falls on the floor. Okay. Now, just in case you're wondering, you're going, well, there's no mark on here. Well, I have a mark here and a mark here. These two marks are 8 inches apart. This is lined up with the edge of the plexi or the acrylic. This is where the end of it's going to be. And I need one more tool to finish this out with. Because the blade cuts at an angle, I'm going to have to finish by doing some hand sawing at the end. Alright, so we're going to get all of our plastic off the bottom so we don't scuff it up. There we go. I'm going to set this over here. Get my cord where it's manageable. Alright, here we go. Alright, now at the very end of the cut, where the blade was curving back up, doesn't quite meet the line. So I'm going to take my hacksaw, slide it in, draw it up even with the line on both sides, kick out the little tab of plastic in the middle, and there we have it. This is now ready for the other piece that's going to come down to about here. And you'll see that here in just a few minutes when I get that cut. Alright, so let's set that out of the way behind us. And let's go get the other one. I'll pass behind you to do that. And so again, here's how we set it up. Get my plastic out of the way here. I'm just going to lift the board up gently, throw this in, bring it back in line with my line, set this down. Now I need to measure. That's a little bit too far still, so I'm going to come across. This should be 7 1/4. That's 7 1/4. That's a little bit farther than 7 1/4, so I'll lift that up and just gently move that back. Seven 1/4 there. And that's a little bit too far. 7 1/4. 7 1/4. And then I want to make sure that, whoops, nope, that's not going to work, so the whole thing has to slide a little bit farther over. Because 1 1/4 is right there. Still 7 1/4. Still 7 1/4. I can now clamp this into place. There we go. And yes, this is very, very messy to work with. Okay, so I again got it lined up with my line. There's my 8-inch mark. I'm going to set this right up against it. All right, now, professionals are probably going to be asking, am I taking into account the kerf? The kerf, remember, is the cut where you remove the material. I've been trying to take into account the kerf. If I measured this precisely, I'm probably going to be 1/8 of an inch off of one side or the other, which I am. And if your calibrated eye can see it, you'll see that I'm a little bit farther that way than this way from center. Does it make a difference in the final analysis? Not really. The idea is, will they all fit together, which they will. Okay, now I'm going to take a second. I need to clean my table. When we come back to the next video, I'm going to do the cut on the big piece, show you how we do the cut on the big piece, then we're going to slide it all together so you can see the final product.